This is the presentation on grounded theory presented by Jacqueline and Riley for Nursing Class 631, instructed by Dr. Widman. Description of the research method. Grounded theory is a general method that can be applied to many areas of research. Grounded theory involves both the collection and analysis of data prior to determining a theory. The theory is considered grounded because it is based on actual data. Once data is collected, social processes are discovered, abstract categories are constructed and refined, gaps are bridged with analytical memos, and then those categories are integrated into a theoretical framework, or otherwise known as theory. Describe whether it is qualitative or quantitative, or both, and why. Grounded theory is a flexible yet complex method. Qualitative data is descriptive and conceptual, while quantitative data can be counted, measured, and expressed via numbers. Grounded theory utilizes both qualitative and quantitative data. Grounded theory can be determined by collecting and analyzing qualitative and quantitative data received from many different sources, including interviews, focus groups, surveys, questionnaires, government reports, blogs and memos, published literature, and more. Steps to using grounded theory. The first step is data collection, which can be done through interviews, focus groups, questionnaires, and transcripts. The second step is theoretical sampling. Researchers purposefully select participants and/or data sources that can answer their research question. Researchers make a conscious decision about what further detail they feel needs exploring as the new theory develops. Step 3 is theoretical sensitivity. Theoretical sensitivity refers to the insight of the researcher. It concerns the researcher being able to give meaning to data, understanding what that data says, and being able to separate out what is relevant and what is not. Sensitivity comes from several sources, including literature, which is in-depth reading which offers a rich understanding of the phenomena being studied, professional and personal experiences, which offer an understanding of the events and topics being explored, and the analytical process, which allows for insight and understanding of the phenomena. The application of grounded theory, an example from nursing workforce research. The intent of this study was to understand perceptions of individuals involved in training and evaluating new graduates and the transition experiences of new graduates to their roles in the ICU. Grounded theory facilitated the exploration of the new graduate workforce readiness by focusing on the views of managers, educators, preceptors, and new nurse graduates related to the unique skill set required to be a competent nurse in the ICU. Data was collected through audio-taped interviews, which included demographic and semi-structured interview questions. After reviewing the interview transcripts from a new graduate and a preceptor, it was evident that both stated similar concerns, namely that ICU new graduates experienced challenges adapting to changes in the patient's condition. While reviewing the transcripts in this study, the data had to reflect the actual statements without including any assumptions or preconceptions about the intent. Analyzed data revealed meanings and perceptions related to the complex topic of new graduate nurse readiness entering the ICU. Grounded theory promised to be very useful in studying the new graduate nurse's readiness for the ICU because of its focus on gathering insight into the true meanings related to new graduates' experiences of transitioning into the ICU. Challenges and limitations of this method. Grounded theory relies on the construction of categories which are then integrated into a theoretical framework, otherwise known as a theory. However, there are no standard rules or guidelines to follow when identifying these categories, which can make things difficult. In addition, grounded theory tends to produce large amounts of data that may be difficult to sort through and/or manage.